Have you ever heard of a battle where an entire army, 8,000 soldiers strong, was wiped from the map before they even set foot on the battlefield? It sounds like something out of a movie, but it really happened. This is the story of the Battle of the Bismarck Sea, a pivotal and brutal clash in the Pacific during World War II, and the moment the B-25 Mitchell bomber became a legend. By early 1943, the tide was turning in the Pacific War. After brutal fighting on Guadalcanal, Allied forces were pushing back. But the Japanese military wasn't giving up. They planned a massive reinforcement of their bases in New Guinea, gathering a convoy of 16 ships in the port of Rabaul. On board were nearly 7,000 soldiers of the 51st Infantry Division, along with supplies and fuel, all destined for the key port of Lae. This force was meant to halt the Allied advance in its tracks. But Allied codebreakers were one step ahead. They intercepted Japanese communications, revealing the convoy's route and its departure time. General George Kenney, the commander of the Allied air forces in the Southwest Pacific, saw an opportunity not just to stop the convoy, but to annihilate it. He had a new, terrifying weapon up his sleeve, a modified B-25 Mitchell bomber. Standard bombers were designed for high-altitude bombing, which was notoriously inaccurate against moving ships. So, Kenney's ground crews did something radical. They bolted multiple forward-facing machine guns onto the nose of the B-25s, turning them into massive, flying gunships. The plan was audacious. Fly in low, just skimming the waves, strafe the ships to suppress anti-aircraft fire, and then use a new technique called skip bombing. Skip bombing was like skipping a stone on water. The bombers would fly at extremely low altitude and release their bombs, which would bounce off the surface of the sea and slam into the side of the enemy ships, exploding at the waterline or even underneath them. It was a high-risk, high-reward tactic that required incredible nerve from the pilots. On March the 2nd, the Japanese convoy was spotted. For the next 3 days, the skies over the Bismarck Sea became a scene of relentless, coordinated attacks. B-17s bombed from high altitude to break up the convoy's formation, while Australian bow fighters and American A-20s swept in at low level, their cannons and machine guns tearing into the ship's decks and bridges. Then came the B-25s. Flying dangerously low, they unleashed hell. Their forward-facing guns raked the ships, silencing anti-aircraft positions and clearing the way for the main event. The skip bombers then came in, their bombs skipping across the waves like deadly projectiles. The results were catastrophic. Ship after ship erupted in flames, broke in half, and slipped beneath the waves. Within 48 hours, the battle was over. All 8 troop transports and 4 of the escorting destroyers were sunk. Of the nearly 7,000 soldiers heading for Lae, only about 800 made it ashore, rescued by destroyers and submarines. The rest were lost to the sea. It was a complete and utter disaster for the Japanese, and a stunning victory for the Allies, achieved almost entirely from the air. The Battle of the Bismarck Sea proved the devastating effectiveness of low-level air power and cemented the B-25 Mitchell's place in aviation history. More importantly, it prevented a major reinforcement of Japanese forces, saving countless Allied lives and significantly shortening the brutal campaign for New Guinea. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories you might not have heard in class. See you next time.